Hey guys, a few months ago I was asked to do a tutorial. I didn't forget, I just kind of been putting it off. But I'm kind of working on one now. And this is it. It is the envelope ephemera keeper. It's just different size envelopes put together. And you put pockets and stuff in them and just keep your ephemera in. What I like to do is make them to go with journals that I'm making, and then just send it with it instead of decorating the pages. So, what you're going to need is a various size envelopes, however many you want to put in it. You can put cards in them too if you want. I'm going to start with my two biggest ones, and I use the whale tail punch. Why? Because I have it, and because you know when we first get this punch, we make a million whale tail punches, and they're just sitting in a box. So, I'm going to use them up. This is also part of my use it or lose it. So, I'm going to put my two envelopes down, line them up on my lines, and if you don't have a grid, I strongly suggest you draw lines on a paper or cardstock or something, to make sure they stay even, and pray when you move your hands they stay down. So, I'm going to take this punch, hold it real well in the center. I'm also using up various types of glue. So this came in my Johnny box. Look what I just did. Junk Journal Shop Studio box last month, I think. So I thought, what the heck, I'm going to use it. So, let's join this. Now, if you don't have these punches, don't worry about it. You can put rectangles on here. Just put more going down. These take up right much space, so I'm going to glue it. This little jigger. I'm going to stick this little jigger right in the center here. Alright, Kathy, quit moving it. And I'm going to do it moving. I can't do anything with the camera, Ronald, and y'all know that. Alright, I'm going to stick it down. And of course it's wider than I wanted it, but that's okay. It'll hold more stuff if it's wider. And then I'm going to take another one. And I did this on cardstock. I've never tried to do a hinge on paper, but I do them on cardstock a lot. And normally I will use a rectangle, but I saw Paper Inspirations do this with the whale tail, and I said, whoa, I have a box full of those. I'm going to use them up. So let's see, I'm going to put this one down here. Try to keep it as evenly as possible. Stop closing on me. Okay. And then I'll put another one in the center. Just for extra support, because this is going to be holding things. If you listen real carefully, you can hear my wind chimes. And YouTube, don't give me a straight. That is not music. That is outside. So, okay, I have 3 down. Now, let's decide, do I want to hinge from this side or this side? I close this. These are going to be on the outside, so I'm going to glue everything on this side. But do I want all my openings on the same place? If I put this one here, the opening's still going to be on the inside. How do I want to do this? What you think? Or do I want my opening to go to the back? I think I want it all on the inside. So let's move this little doomy-chicky over here. And I'm going to bring it up some so that it's staggered. And like I said, you can use any size envelopes. You can incorporate the tall business envelope in it so that it's just different stages, different sizes. It looks really cool. If you check out Paper Inspirations, she did something similar to this. I think she calls hers an envelope flip. I just call mine an envelope ephemera holder. It may be an envelope flip, and I just don't even realize it. I just had a lot of envelopes I wanted to use up one day, and I started making these. Up some. But like I said, back then I was making them with the rectangle. And I did just put the hinge on the wrong side. Good gravy. Okay, let's do this again. See, I told you, I have a hard time doing anything with the camera moving while I'm being recorded. Okay, so flip this over so that the opening is on the other side. Take that off. Back to my line. Right about there. Hold that bad boy. I'm going to put this one in the center just to start it. Hopefully. Hopefully. Don't do that. Okay. The more you get together, the harder it is. For me, anyway. And I'm going to put one at the top. Wait, this goes in this way. This goes in this way. And you can reuse envelopes that you already have. You don't have to have boxes of envelopes that I just happen to have. I always buy up envelopes when I see them in thrift stores. And if they're glue shut for some random reason, which they normally are in Florida, I just use my heat gun and loosen them up and they open right up. Of course, I just use them for crafting and cover them up anyway, so it doesn't really matter. You can only do 2 hinges on this, but like I said, it depends on what you're going to put in it. And I make my ephemera mostly out of cardstock, so if you make it out of just paper, 2 would be fine, one at the top and one at the bottom, but I do mine out of cardstock. So there's 1, 2. How do I want this to be? Do I want one to come over here? Or do I want, I want one to come over here. So let's see another envelope I have. Can go like so. I don't know if it can or not. Will it go over? We shall see. If it doesn't work, you just take it apart, right? So let's stagger this one. And this one does not have to line up with the other little one because they're not going to be touching. Well, it might help if y'all can see, huh? Yes, it would. Put this one right here. Right here, right here. Put center. I want to give this a little wider gap because I do want it to go over the front. So before I glue that all down, let's see how that will do. And it will. So, okay, we'll come back over here. We're going to glue this one down. And like I said, if you're going to use this as a flap on all of it, make your gap wider. And I don't do any, you know, ruler measurements and all this stuff. I just eyeball it. If it's easier for you to use the ruler, then by all means, please measure it all out and go through all that, but I just don't. I'm just making a mess. Okay, there's that. And there's something else too. It really doesn't matter which way you fold this, because you basically want it to fold both ways. So if you put it down and you say, oh no, I put the fold going the wrong direction, don't worry about it. It's going to fold easier going back the other direction. This is some messy glue. It's the first time I've ever used it, so I kind of like the way it sticks, but it is messy. Okay. So yeah, that's going to look cute. Open it, open it, open it. That won't open. I like it. I think it's going to be cute with the outside flap. And I never make two the same way. I have made some with just 2 envelopes. I've made some with 3 envelopes. I have made one with 10 envelopes. That was a pain. But, yeah, I gave away the ephemera keeper I made in one of my videos. So I can't show it to you, but there's a video up. Now what you do is you decide the color schemes you want. And for this one, I did brown envelope, didn't I? This one is going to be, I'm not sure yet. You see, this one I'm doing kind of a vintage theme. And I haven't done any inking yet. I will come back and do all of the inking once I get it all on and decide where I want it all to set. But I have both of my small envelopes on the inside on this one. And I'm still working on this one, so that gives me 2 that I am currently working on. I will do this one on camera. I'm going to have to let it dry really well, even though I'm going to be gluing over top of it. I still want to make sure it is, this part, especially since this is the hinge to the book, I want to make sure it is completely and totally dry before I start playing around with it. So part 2 will be decorating. Practice with your hinges and your envelopes, and if you don't have any envelopes, just cut you out some different size papers, cut some strips to connect them together, and practice with that. They're really not that hard, and the smaller you make them, the easier they are. But yeah, I'm kind of liking this. I may put, let's see, this is inside. This comes over. Do I want to put a card inside of this one? So that it was not the card, it's envelope. I put a card inside of this one. Go this way with it. Let it flip open. I don't know. Or do I want to decorate the card and put it inside of here so that it can be used in a journal? We shall see. Haven't decided. And that's the good thing about it. You can think on it, you know, do parts of it, think of how you want it to lay, what you want to use as closures on it and all this so that it holds together well. But you do definitely want to let your hinges dry very well before you do anything else, because if one of them pops up and you've already decorated it, then it's going to pop what you put over top of it too. So this is part one, guys. You asked for it. Here it is. It's kind of rushed. I'm sorry. I'll slow down on the decorating part so you can see the measurements and how I do it and how I get them to stick. And yes, I use double-sided tape and glue. Yes, I do. So, we will see you in part two. I hope you are working along with me and making yours. And if you are, put up a video and let me see it. Or put a picture in my group. Alright, I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.